What's up, family? I hope this video finds all of you guys healthy, well, and happy, or at least as happy as we can be, especially in times like this. Welcome back to my channel. This is the Herb Lady, and I am here with your Sagittarius September general reading. So, today and yesterday have been pretty tough, especially with like finding out that Chadwick Boseman passed away, who was also a Sagittarius. Um, it was just really tough to hear that last night, especially hearing about his struggle that he had had for going on for a few years dealing with complications of colon cancer. Um, like I said, my respected career is a nurse. I've worked as a nurse for almost 6 years, and 2 out of those 6 years I worked in an endoscopy clinic doing colonoscopies and upper endoscopies, and have seen more than my fair share, one too many times, of people coming in with actual diagnoses of colon cancer or seeing a mass. Just I've seen it, so it just not only because literally of his impact and his life purpose that he definitely fulfilled all the way down to the T. He fulfilled that, his impact on our community, on the black community, and just how he served as an example for our children to look up to. And it's like he was more than just a superhero. He was a superhero in every aspect. And I can only imagine literally how he was as a person in person behind closed doors, because he seemed like he was an incredible person to be able to hide that from the world and fight through that and still serve his purpose. I feel like Chadwick Boseman's energy, let his energy be that, because I'm pretty sure already he is doing very great and vast and powerful spiritual work from the other side. So rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, and may you be ascended and venerated exactly in the way in which you deserve. Um, so with that being said, we're gonna get into the Sagittarius reading. It's finally you guys' turn. So today I have the crown chakra meditation, hang drums playing in the background. Once again, it's through Meditative Mind. What they are awesome YouTube channel that plays nothing but meditation music, frequencies, any frequency you can think of, they probably have it. They do chakra meditations, all types of awesome just meditation music that you can just kind of chill out and meditate to. And even if you're doing some of your astral ascension work, they got great meditations for that too. I think I've seen a couple of them. Yeah, really great source. So, crown chakra, hang drums, that's kind of what, showed up and was just like, play me. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. And today we're going to talk about frankincense and myrrh. Now, if you guys have watched some of my other channels, some of my other videos, I don't have other channels, but my other videos literally go into detail about frankincense and myrrh. And I only touch on it briefly because, yes, I am the herb lady, and my thing is every general reading, I'm probably going to touch on a different herb and its physical, medicinal, and spiritual uses. And frankincense and myrrh is where I chose to start because it's so great for depression and anxiety. And, also given the fact that it's like frankincense and myrrh is really awesome to use as a smudge. A lot of the time, we got a lot of people who would love to use sage. They say, oh, I'm a sage, I'm a sage, I'm a sage. And it's just like, you guys, while sage has its awesome healing properties and excellent properties, just remember, we are coming into a place where sage is starting to become one of those hot plants, those hot topic plants to use. And just please be mindful of the fact that sage is not sage is not a unconditional uh, source. So it's like it's not one that literally is there. It's a plant, and just like all living things, if it is constantly being harvested, being used, overused, it has the possibility of going extinct, just like other animals and plants have. And we live in America. There's millions of us, and quite a few of us who are experiencing these quote unquote spiritual awakenings. So it is really important that we are mindful of the resources that we are using. Now, I do definitely believe in saging and smudging your space, and I honestly stress use sage if you're using it from a place of abundance, where you have a vast supply of sage, you grow your own sage, you dry your own sage, you use your own resources, or it's gifted to you. Definitely use it. But as far as like if you're constantly using it, find yourself constantly going to the store to re-up on your sage, just remember that there's a plethora of options that you can use to smudge your space. So we're going to get into frankincense and myrrh. Frankincense and myrrh, once again, depression and anxiety, really great for them. Frankincense and myrrh comes in different forms. You have your incense stick, which I have right here. I'm going to light this in a few moments. You also have it in a resin. There's also the raw plant that it comes from, and the essential oil. I believe I have some myrrh oil somewhere around here. I honestly would have to look for it. It might be down here, honestly, but let's see. I'm gonna just check really quick. I think I have it. Yeah, it's right here. So the myrrh oil that I have is with a brand that's called doTERRA. They make very, very good, high quality oils, and they're skin safe. I would honestly advise doing more research to see, if you guys are, especially if you're using them as an inhalant. Most of doTERRA's oils are usable in like their diffusers, so it is safe for you to put it in a diffuser and enjoy the sense of that oil, the essence of that oil. So actually, I have the frankincense oil, and I thought I had myrrh oil, but frankincense oil and myrrh oil actually usually run at a little bit more of a higher price, because they're considered, I guess, more of a premium, and it is a little bit more expensive to manufacture. So this is the frankincense oil. Hopefully it focuses. Let's see if it focused. That's the frankincense oil that is sold by doTERRA. Let's see. Come on, friend. And yeah, I know, probably looking at the cap, you can see like all types of herbs that I got trapped in the cap, and don't mind that. But I also, you know, with frankincense and myrrh, just as a fun fact, it was one of the herbs. It's been featured in the Bible quite a bit of times. If you are a person coming from a Christian background, and one of its most prevalent stories is the story of the three wise men. They offered it as a gift for Jesus when he was at his birth, when he was born. Um, it's mostly sourced in the Middle East and North Africa, so you will see it grown in places like Ethiopia, Somalia, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, amongst other regions around that area. It's grown as a small shrub-like tree, and typically in dry climates. Myrrh is extracted from a Camephora mucol tree and has a typically medicinal aroma. So you can usually smell the aroma coming off the tree you know, before you even cut into it. And the way that they kind of extract myrrh resin is that they cut into the tree, and I believe it's like almost kind of like when you go to get for maple, the sap of the tree is the myrrh resin that's actually being used to burn and smudge. So myrrh is great as an antiseptic, antifungal, antidepressant, antimicrobial, expectorant, and a stimulant. It works as a stimulant. It works as a stimulant, which opens you up for stimulating thought. So it spiritually opens you up and stimulates you spiritually. So, you know, it's one of those things where if you're using myrrh solo dolo, I would advise, like, if you're using it to treat anxiety and spirits related to the nature of anxiety, you may want to consider the fact that you are using more of a stimulating herb, and maybe switch over to frankincense or use frankincense and myrrh in combination with each other. Whereas frankincense is also an antiseptic, it's a disinfectant, an astringent, a diuretic, and a sedative. In my Libra video or my Scorpio video, I believe I go into a little bit more detail as far as what an antiseptic is, and diuretic. These plants have amazing properties, and a lot of these properties that are listed is, you know, it's like what you find in pills. Pills really are the concentrated, chemically altered versions of what our natural plants already do. So I do have my notebook here so that I can remember the notes that I took in regards to the herbs that we are discussing. Now, frankincense acts as a sedative. It's wonderful for insomnia and it soothes anxiety. So frankincense, really, if you are dealing with more of the depressive energies and energies around depression, I would advise, you know, probably using more myrrh, or, like, once again, just safe to use the blend of frankincense and myrrh, because frankincense really is more of that slowing down action. Anxiety is that nervous high energy where you're constantly being anxious about outcome or anxious about the future, something that you cannot help in the present moment. Whereas depression really is holding on to those energies and those spirits of the past. You're hanging on to the past, and the past is weighing you down. So frankincense and myrrh, you know, they both have their own individual properties which they use to help lift those energies up off of you. Often depression and anxiety run hand in hand with each other. Now, frankincense is also a strong solar herb, which means that depending on your spiritual beliefs, it's great as an offering for gods and deities that depict the sun in their image, which, you know, it depends on your beliefs, and I would say definitely do further research before you dive into doing anything of the sort and offerings to other gods or deities, especially if that is not your culture or religion or your spiritual belief that you follow. Now, when in use, once again, like I said, you can burn it as an incense stick, or you can burn the resin directly over fire or in a fire safe device, or over charcoal in a fireproof cauldron. They say brazier, I say cauldron, but either one. So I'm gonna show you kind of what a cauldron looks like. I got this one like years ago. As you can see, it's made out of cast iron, and I use it usually if I'm smudging around the house. This is my go-to. Like, I will put my little piece of charcoal in there, like the quick light charcoal. You can usually get a sleeve of them for about $3. I get a sleeve for $3. I get one out, it's about the size of a quarter, a little and pretty thick, and you just break it up, and then you light it with fire, and then it catches from the fire and it quick lights, and it produces enough heat, especially like when you barbecue, in order for you to put your resin on. Now, the frankincense and myrrh resins together, this is typically what it looks like. I know it's a little hard to see because the bag is already kind of cloudy. I'm gonna see if I can take it out. But the yellow is the frankincense, where the darker pieces are the myrrh. So this is what the frankincense looks like. If you guys can see it, that's frankincense. And then I'm gonna just actually show you what the myrrh looks like in its raw form before it's broken down small for you to burn it over charcoal. So the myrrh here, this is kind of what myrrh looks like. It looks like a rock. Just kind of really big, and it's pretty hard. That's what it sounds like, and it's not very easily breakable. To be quite honest, I usually break it down with a hammer in order to get it to be broken into fine enough pieces to burn it over charcoal. So that's my spiel on frankincense and myrrh. You know, like I said, very good for anxiety and depression, dealing with those energies. And also because it definitely is an herb that goes hand in hand with root chakra work as well. I do have 2 crystals here that are awesome for doing root chakra work. And one of them is jasper. This is jasper, so it's tumbled on the top, basically polished on the top, and then the back is raw. So jasper is really great for grounding energy. And then my last one is goethite, which is part of the calcite, the limonite family. This piece here comes from Durango, Mexico. It's a beautiful piece, and it's really great for root chakra work, grounding work. Goethite actually can be used for root chakra as well as sacral chakra. It's much better for, like, if you're trying to heal a lot of the sexual energies, if you have hypersexual versus hypo, increased versus decreased sexual energy, really good either way in helping with that. And then jasper is just really great if you're trying to do some grounding work and kind of get your spirit to be more grounded and rooted. It's very heavy. Like this rock here, I call him a rock. He a crystal, but he a rock. He's solid like a rock. He's very heavy, and it's a very grounded type of energy that brings you down and roots you. Alright, so I'm going to light this incense, and we are going to get into the reading here and go from there. So my fan is on in my room because it's still kind of hot from summer. My window is open and my fan is on. That's really like how I like it to be in my room. But a lot of the time it just becomes a pain when I'm trying to light the actual incense. So hopefully we're just getting it lit. I'm gonna blow it out and then we're gonna put it up and we'll get it rocking. Alright. Okay. So my cards are already pre-shuffled and prayed over prior to doing the reading. I like to do that so that we can just jump straight on into the reading. So I'm going to pull one card from my Universe Has Your Back deck. It's a beautiful deck with a bunch of encouraging messages. We're going to pull one encouraging message for Sagittarius. My moon is in Sagittarius, so we're going to just be picking up the energies. And I do not do predictive readings whatsoever. This reading really simply is picking up the energy for September that will be affecting Sagittarius. All right. And if you guys want, you can come back and check out my page later on in the month. Later on, I will be doing the love readings as well as the planetary readings for Sagittarius. And if you guys want to know a little bit more about my planetary readings, please check out my intro video to the Herb Lady, where it kind of breaks down and explains exactly how I do all of my readings. Alright. So, this card says, when I'm connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. When I am connected to my joyful presence, I attract support from the universe. Now, the first thing that I'm getting here, because of the full moon in the card, is definitely doing some manifestation work or being able to be connected to your inner joy in order to be able to receive the full benefits of your manifestation work, especially around full moon time, because remember, during the full moon is the time where you are reaping the benefits of your manifestation work. Manifestation work is coming in from the intentions that you set in the new moon 6 months prior. So when you are able to be connected to your joyful presence, you can attract that additional support. You can manifest that additional support. And sometimes just, it's not always about reaping the manifestations of the intentions set on the previous full moon, sometimes on the previous new moon, excuse me. Sometimes it's about using that full moon energy to enhance your own energy, taking the energy of being full. When you are full of joy, you attract joy. When you are full of your own support, you attract more support. So that's definitely something to keep in mind for Sagittarius, especially because we have a Pisces full moon that will be coming up soon here. And, you know, definitely like attracting, Pisces is a fellow mutable sign for Sag, and it is kind of like a square energy for you guys. So just keeping in mind that that you definitely can use that energy of the full moon. Take your lesson from the example of the full moon and how full and luminous she glows in the dark sky. So, going from there, I'm going to pull 2 cards from my Soulful Woman deck. And as I've explained in my previous videos, and this is just for those who haven't watched my previous videos, even though this is a Soulful Woman deck, regardless of whether you identify as male or female, we are all human, and due to being all human, we all hold divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy within us. It's all yin and yang, male and female, feminine and masculine within us. So, you know, even though it says soulful woman, you know, it's still messages that apply to us as human beings, because I feel like even the issues that affect women these days, it's androgynous. It affects all of us on a human level. So I'm going to pull 2 cards from this deck, and we're going to get into the messages of those cards and see how it applies for Sagittarius for the month of September. Alright, so Sagittarius, you guys got dream seeds. Dream seeds says, I nurture my dream seeds with love and appreciation and allow them to unfold in their own time. And then you also got, this is the card for dream seeds. So, as you can see with dream seeds, as from her neck, if you see like the plant, from what I'm seeing is like a plant, it looks like a leaf, like almost like a maple leaf, and then you see the roots inside of the maple leaf. This is, and then the same is being reflected off of her third eye and crown chakra. So there is duality on both sides. As the seed roots in the ground, it enables itself to grow above ground. So it must be nurtured. And in the ground, as we know, the soil holds all the nutrients in order for the plant to grow. What we see in the greenery of the plant is all credit to the soil, to the sun, and to water all working together, but the seed has to sprout. The seeds of thought that we have when we water them, regardless if it's a positive thought or a negative thought, the amount of attention that we give to it, the amount of time that we spend watering it, pruning it, nurturing it, is how, if that one thought will grow into a whole process, a whole manifestation, because as Lulu likes to say, where our mind dwells, our reality swells. So if you're putting a thought, which is very viable, because remember how powerful you are the vessel, your words are the spells, your thoughts are the intentions. So how you manifest, how you nurture an intention is literally the energy that you bring to you, the energy that you call to you. So be mindful of your thoughts, because your thoughts are like seeds, all of them, every single one of them. I don't care the smallest one to the biggest one, and how, depending on how much you nurture and feed a seed is how much you nurture and feed the environment that is being called towards you. Now, the second card that you guys got is the power of my voice. And this card says, I speak my truth and express my feelings to others with care and compassion. So from what I'm getting is that there is literally some throat chakra work that needs to be done here. I'm sensing that there is some suppressed throat chakra, or that there is slowed throat chakra. And as you can see, this woman is so beautiful, and on her throat she has a conch, a shell. And that shell, as we know with shells, they are hard. Their outer layers are hard, but on the inside, it protects the life on the inside of that shell. So you guys are being very, very protective over your own thoughts and over your own dreams and over your own voices, because of and it's like, regardless of the reason that you're being protective, it's starting to manifest as you affecting your throat chakra. So you guys don't want to be in a place where you're like harming or slowing down the workings of your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is very important, because you have to be able to speak up for you. Nobody else is going to be able to do that for you, Sagittarius. So it's like, even that conch, that shell on her throat is lit. And it just goes to show that she's in a space where her voice is being amplified. She's accepting amplification of her own voice. So, and I feel like Sagittarius, either you guys are struggling to get to that, or you're kind of already there, where you're at the point where it's like, I don't give a fuck what you think about anything. I have to speak my truth. And you really do. But at times, as we know with Sagittarius, we tend to be really chatty, and we can say more than what's needed to be said. So there also may be, literally, in order to protect your seeds, you have to be mindful, and you have to stay connected in order to protect those seedlings of thoughts that are in your mind, so that other people, whatever's coming out of your mouth, remember, you're being listened to not only by the universe is always listening, but people are always listening too, and not all the time does people have your best intentions at heart. So sometimes you gotta pick and choose what it is that you can say, and do it in a healthy way, to where it feels like you're not suppressing your own voice. Alright. So going into the thick of the reading, we're going to pull 6 tarot cards. And this is going to be from my Mythic Tarot deck. I've had this deck for a while. It's a pretty awesome deck. I highly, highly recommend to anybody who is just getting into tarot, who kind of learns more through stories and learns more through mythology and history and things of that sort, to check out this deck. This deck has awesome lessons in the book. I would probably not ever give up my Mythic Tarot book because I've learned so much from it. So we're gonna pull 6 cards for Sagittarius. All right. For some reason, the High Priestess really wants to come out today. She came out earlier in another reading that I had did. Alright, Sagittarius, you guys have a lot of major arcana in your reading. So what I'm seeing is that you guys are going through some major changes right now. Definitely some major changes that is making you guys call upon your intuition very deeply. And what I'm seeing, because the High Priestess did come out upright, your intuition is right on point. So whatever it is that your intuition is guiding you to do, please listen to your intuition, because it's on point and it's telling you exactly the truth. Nobody can tell you the truth about your situation like you can. Nobody. Period. Don't ever let anybody convince you that they can tell you the truth of your situation like you can. And I do have to repeat that twice, because sometimes we get so caught up in the what ifs, the naysayers, the other people's opinions, that we forget that we got a whole intuition and a whole mind and a whole brain that works just fine for us and has been guiding us in times where we didn't have anybody to turn to or talk to. So Sagittarius, please keep in sync with your intuition. Please listen to your intuition, because she's right there definitely guiding you. And you guys may be getting those intuitive nudges. You may be feeling pushed and called in a certain direction. Follow it. Definitely follow that direction. So you guys kind of got Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So that tells me that you guys are being pushed in a direction to pursue something that your intuition's been on you for a while about now, but you guys won't see immediate gratification or results of doing that. It won't be an immediate gratification. And be okay with that, Sagittarius, because literally, if you were to get it quickly, remember, quick results usually never stick. You get them, you get excited, you get caught up in the moment of having instant gratification of your results, but then you feel like you don't have to work as hard for it. You feel like you don't have to work at it like that. And then you don't respect the process. And then before you know it, the process doesn't work for you anymore. You no longer feel joy in what you're doing because you don't really have to work at it, and what you're doing is not challenging you like that anymore. So Sagittarius, keep that in mind. As you can see, the coin is falling. But don't let the coin slip out of your hand. Allow the process to be a slow process for you, so that you're able to keep your grip over the coin. This wheel will turn. It always does. All the time. With aces manifestation, aces are beginnings. Regardless of whether that ace is upright or upside down, you are at the beginning of manifesting your coin. You're at the beginning of manifesting the physical life that you have been asking for. Remember, taking it back to the moon. What is it that you were asking for on the Pisces new moon? What kind of energy were you pouring into that new moon that is now going to show up in this Pisces full moon? All right, so it seems like you guys are coming out of a place where you have been your main source of self-deception, where you're coming out of a place where you refuse to lie to yourself any longer, where you refuse to be in a state of just being in a state where you're deceiving yourself. You're no longer in that place. You no longer desire that for yourself. So you're definitely, because you are stepping out of that, you're going to see the scales tip for you, because now you're not walking around literally with the veil over your eyes. You're no longer trying to deceive others about your truth. You're no longer trying to deceive yourself about your truth. And so truth will prevail. What I am getting here is like either big Libra energy or the fact that you guys are dealing with some type of court case. And from what I'm getting, if it is the latter, if it's both of them, triumph, you will triumph. But you also have to make sure that you don't get caught up in the wave of not following your intuition. It all goes back to your intuition. Follow your intuition, because the nudges that you're getting right now are the nudges that's going to take you in the direction that you need to go. That goes back to the Queen of Wands. She's in the reverse position. So with the Queen of Wands, you know, Queen of Wands is very intuitive. Queen of Wands is your energy, Sagittarius. You guys are sitting up on the throne. Queen of Wands is Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo energy. The lioness is at your foot. You are the lioness. You possess that spirit energy, that strong spirit energy, Sagittarius. You must believe in yourself, and you must believe in your intuition, because you still sit on the throne and you still are mature in how you handle spirit. But right now you're at a point where you don't necessarily believe in yourself enough to be able to handle the tasks which are being assigned to you. So, and also Queen of Wands is joy. You're being told when you're connected to your joyful presence, you attract support from the universe. So you must feel joy. You must feel joy for yourself. You must feel joy for that which you are doing, so that you can attract that support that you need. Because right now you are in a place where you are needing a little extra help, Sag, and that's okay. You're not exactly getting the benefit of the coin right now. You're coming out of a place where you're probably in a place where you're doing some shadow work. That's okay too. And you're probably either dealing with big Libra energy, which is either proven to be just like really hard, or you're kind of getting your just due right now. You're probably getting that karmic energy that's coming back to you. That's hard to deal with. All of these things are hard, but you have to keep believing in yourself. You have to keep believing in the process and believing in your intuition, because when you trust your intuition literally is spirit, it's ancestors. They're all guiding you through what is seemingly a difficult time that you will definitely get through, Sag. So now, if you are able to get in a place where you can believe in yourself and you can see that you got this and that your intuition is on point, tell yourself your intuition is on point. And remember that you're clearing out them skeletons out your closet, because otherwise, if you cannot overcome that, you're going to end up being here in the Fool reverse. And in the Fool reverse, that is the card of zero. Now, zero is neither positive or negative. It's very neutral energy. But sometimes when it's in that reverse energy, that neutrality does not work for your benefit. Neutrality kind of keeps you in a space where you're being complicit and you're just there. You're existing and you're not moving forward and you're not moving backwards. Like, you've taken the first step. You've walked out of the cave of the dark subconscious. You've walked out of the cave from the, it's like Fool is completion. Fool is the beginning of a new journey. The world is completion of the other journey. But you walk out of the cave of completing your previous journey into this new journey. But if you're in the reverse, to me, that's telling me that you've walked out of the cave into a new journey, to go on a new journey. But now you're just standing there like, what am I doing? Like, so, you know, Sag, you don't want that for yourself. And that's where it comes back into the Queen of Wands. You really have to be driven and you have to believe in yourself. Have that confidence in yourself, because you have Queen energy. You literally are inherently having the divine feminine energy of intuition and of spirit and knowing and of taking action, because Wands is fire signs, and fire signs are all about taking action. The beautiful part about Sag is that you guys are mutable and you guys can adjust. You guys, literally, I say with mutable signs, you guys, that mutable, it gives you your advantage. It gives you your curb over cardinal and fixed signs, because you guys can change up and you guys can adjust when and where needed. And with it being in a fire sign, you guys have enough of the passion and enough of the logic to do so. Um, so, in ending your reading, before I end it, I'm going to pull a card from one of my decks. It's not a tarot deck or oracle deck, it's actually a flashcard deck on prominent black historical figures. And this is a volume 2 deck where it focuses on prominent black women who did amazing things for their community. Um, the reason why I'm doing this is pretty much as a reminder of the energy that you can probably take a lesson from or embody for the month of September, in order to get you to that point or that goal that you're trying to figure out how to get to. So this is the deck here. It's a deck that's sold by urbanintellectuals.com. If you guys are interested, you can definitely go to their website, urbanintellectuals.com, and check it out. I think I paid 20 something dollars for this deck. And I already shuffled this deck. But you know what? A card actually fell out. So, and this is the card of Dame Eugenia Charles. She was born May 15th, 1919, and died September 6th, 2005. She actually has the same birthday of my daughter. So, the story of Dame Eugenia. She was the first female attorney of Dominica and the only female prime minister. So this woman was already a trailblazer. Definitely had Queen of Wands energy. Queen of Wands goes out and goes to get it. She goes and she gets it. Now, if she's in the reverse, she's doubting herself. You can't go and get it if you got doubts. You have to trust your intuition and just go for it. She served as a head of state longer than any other prime minister of Dominica. You definitely gotta trust your intuition to do some shit like that. Believe me. She helped to found the Dominica Freedom Party in the 1970s and led it for over 2 decades. She worked with U.S. President Ronald Reagan to orchestrate the 1983 United States invasion of Grenada. She dedicated herself to the reconstruction of housing, roads, and other infrastructure destroyed by Hurricane David. Was conservative in most policies. Her inflexible views led her to be nicknamed Iron Lady of the Caribbean. So, you know, it's like you have to have a tough backbone and you have to trust yourself. Really going back to that purpose of trusting yourself. If you have a dream and you have thoughts of doing something and you know your intuition is telling you just do it. You know this is going to be successful. You know this is going to work out for you in the long run. Even if it doesn't immediately work, just do it. You better go fucking do it. So, you know, it's like with Dame, she probably didn't know exactly where it would take her or the hiccups and obstacles that she would face, but she knew that she could be successful. She believed in herself enough to believe that she could be successful, and she did it. As all these women in this deck, they did it. So, you know, Sag, if you don't take away anything else from this reading, trust your intuition. If your intuition's guiding you to go do something, go and do it. Trust yourself. Give yourself that much power, Sag. And I hope you guys enjoyed your reading. That is your reading for the month of September. I love you guys. Peace and blessings, and take care and be safe and be healthy. Wear your fucking mask. All right. Bye, guys.